Nestled in the heart of Southeast Asia, the Philippines is a nation that captivates with its incredible diversity and captivating charm. With over 7,600 islands dotting its azure waters, it's a tropical paradise like no other. From the world-renowned beaches to the lush mountain sceneries, the country's natural wonders are truly a sight to behold. In this country, karaoke rules as the ultimate pastime, and basketball courts can be found on almost every street corner. With its rapid economic growth, it's being considered as one of the future economic powerhouse of Asia. It also takes pride in being the sole Christian nation in Asia. Alongside the Christian majority, there exists a vibrant 4% Muslim minority, primarily concentrated in the southern islands of Mindanao. But, in recent times, it has been grabbing world headlines due to its territorial dispute with the formidable nation of China. In fact, there are concerns that the small nation is situated in a potential flashpoint of a future world conflict. Beyond the intricate geopolitics it grapples with, this beautiful country holds a treasure trove of archaeological discoveries that changed our understanding of human history. Interestingly, the written history of the Philippine Islands originates from the arrival of the Spaniards. However, it should be noted that the country possessed its own history, culture, and literature before their arrival. Sadly, the religious fervor of the Spaniards led to the destruction of earlier records as much as possible. As a result, significant knowledge about pre-Spanish times, though there is still much to be revealed, relies on records from other countries that had connections with the islands. Thanks to the diligent excavation efforts of scientists, we have been able to uncover the country's rich history, surpassing even our highest expectations. Let us dive into these remarkable findings that left the scientific community in awe. On the Philippines' northern island of Luzon, researchers have made an exciting find. They unearthed stone tools and rhinoceros bones that have been dated back to 709,000 years ago, an era long preceding the emergence of modern humans by hundreds of thousands of years. The discovery of the butchered rhino in the Philippines is undeniably one of the most significant and momentous findings, as it completely challenges our existing understanding of the history of human migration in Asia. Prior to this revelation, the consensus among most scientists was that the first humans arrived in the Philippines around 67,000 years ago. In the Cagayan Valley, an extensive excavation yielded the complete skeleton of a rhinoceros, accompanied by a collection of 57 stone tools. Among the tools were 49 sharp-edged flakes and 6 cores from which the flakes were crafted, along with 2 potential hammerstones. The rhino skeleton itself bore cut marks on 13 of its bones, and both of its humerus bones were intentionally cracked open, likely to provide feasting hunters access to its marrow. The presence of cut marks indicates that the ancient people possessed tools to remove flesh from the rhino meat. The presumption was that Homo erectus, the first hominin to venture out of Africa, was responsible for butchering the rhinoceros. However, this theory lacks conclusive evidence as no hominin fossils were found. Additionally, the manner in which ancient humans reached the island nation remains a puzzling question. The most plausible scenario suggests that they unintentionally arrived on natural floating rafts made of tangled mangroves, which could have broken away from mainland Asia during typhoons or tsunamis. An alternative, though less probable theory proposes the idea that they might have utilized primitive boats to journey to the islands. In April 2019, an astonishing find was made by scientists in the island nation, the Homo luzonensis, a long-lost cousin of modern humans. Fossils were found in Calao Cave, located on the island of Luzon. This remarkable discovery was the result of the collaborative efforts of an international team of archaeologists. The discovery's importance cannot be emphasized enough. It introduces increasing intricacy to the narrative of human evolution, challenging the once perceived straightforward progression. Instead, our ancestral lineage reveals an exuberant array of peculiar forms along its evolutionary journey. It also opens up the fascinating prospect that primitive human relatives might have traveled from Africa to Southeast Asia, challenging previously held assumptions about their migration capabilities. The remains, comprising 13 elements such as teeth, hand and foot bones, along with a portion of a femur, are believed to represent at least 3 adult and juvenile individuals. Homo luzonensis, with an estimated age of at least 50,000 to 67,000 years, belongs to a distinct line of hominins that is separate from Homo sapiens. Homo luzonensis exhibits certain physical resemblances to modern humans, while other aspects harken back to ancient ancestors like the Australopithecines and early members of the Homo genus. Notably, the curved finger and toe bones imply that climbing remained a significant activity for this species, a characteristic shared with some Australopithecines. This leads us to an intriguing question. How did Homo luzonensis acquire this extraordinary combination of traits? Identifying its ancestor proves impossible at this stage. Clues emerge from stone tools and butchered rhino remains discovered on the island, suggesting the presence of ancient humans in Luzon over 700,000 years ago. However, without any actual bones from these ancient beings, whether they were Homo luzonensis or precursors to Homo luzonensis remains uncertain. Another intriguing aspect is that they coexisted with other hominin species during its time, such as Homo sapiens, Homo floresiensis, Neanderthals, and Denisovans. However, out of these 5 species, only Homo luzonensis managed to survive and thrive. This finding sheds new light on our evolutionary history and raises fascinating questions about the interactions and fates of these ancient hominin groups. You might not be familiar with a plant that possesses the extraordinary ability to consume metal and absorb soil pollutants. It's not surprising, as this remarkable discovery is relatively recent in the realm of science and can only be found in a singular location on Earth, Philippines. This incredibly peculiar and potentially invaluable plant was found in May 2014. This metal-eating plant was named Rhinorrhea nickellifera. This plant possesses a remarkable ability to absorb nickel without succumbing to its toxic effects. This unique trait opens up promising possibilities for its application in remedying polluted soil, particularly in regions where nickel mining has caused environmental damage. Furthermore, the metal-eating plant presents a groundbreaking outlook on mining practices. The conventional approach of digging up the earth for metals could be replaced by a more eco-friendly method, wherein humans plant hyperaccumulators and extract the metals from their leaves during the harvesting process. Just envision the tremendous positive impact this could have on preserving our environment. However, a sobering reality accompanies this discovery. The metal-eating plant faces the looming threat of extinction, emphasizing the urgency to protect and preserve this exceptional botanical treasure. Across the globe, ancient cave paintings have captivated our fascination, and the Philippines is no exception, boasting its own remarkable collection known as the Angono petroglyphs. This consists of over 120 engraved figures found on a rock wall in Angono, Rizal. These petroglyphs span most of the rock wall, measuring approximately 63 meters in width and 5 meters in height. Believed to have been part of a makeshift rock shelter used by ancient people, the site also yielded fragmented earthenware and stone tools. Dating of the artifacts indicates that the rock shelter was utilized during the Neolithic age around 2500 BC, making the Angono petroglyphs the oldest known works of art in the Philippines. UNESCO attributes symbolic representations associated with healing and sympathetic magic to the Angono petroglyphs. The carvings depict humans engaged in religious rituals to heal sickness. Due to the diverse styles observed in these petroglyphs, researchers propose that multiple individuals carved them as part of a group effort. In ancient times, a language barrier was believed to exist, leading our ancestors to rely on symbols as their primary form of communication. These symbolisms and figures served as a means of expressing their thoughts and emotions in their daily lives. In 1973, the Philippine government declared the Angono petroglyphs a national cultural treasure to safeguard the site from vandalism and environmental erosion, ensuring its preservation for future generations. Discovered by accident in 1986 near the mouth of the Lumbang River, the Laguna copperplate inscription holds the distinction of being the earliest historical document in the Philippines and the sole pre-Spanish document found to date. Now designated as a national cultural treasure, it measures 7 by 12 inches when unrolled and was inscribed in Kavi, an ancient Javanese writing system. Even more intriguing is the fact that the Philippines' oldest document is not a poem or a song, but rather a legal document known as Sudapatra, which serves as a receipt for the settlement of a debt in today's context. According to its content, it records the cancellation of a gold debt amounting to 1 kati and 8 swarna, which is equivalent to 865 grams belonging to Namwaran, with the document being handed over to his daughter, Angkatan. Between 2011 and 2012, archaeologists from the National Museum conducted excavations in Mount Kamhantik in Quezon Province. During this period, they made a remarkable discovery of 15 limestone tombs and other invaluable artifacts. The archaeological site, encompassing a 280-hectare government-protected land, is believed to have been the location of a 1,000-years-old village that once thrived in the area. Nevertheless, following the carbon dating of the human remains unearthed at the location, it was determined that the site's age is considerably more ancient, spanning from 890 to 1030 AD. What sets this burial ground apart from other explored sites in the country is the presence of limestone coffins, a first-of-its-kind find in the Philippines. This significant evidence indicates that ancestors in the country practiced more advanced burial rituals. This compelling evidence affirms the existence of an advanced civilization among the ancient people in the region prior to foreign colonization. Apart from the limestone coffins, the archaeologists also unearthed earthen jars, metal objects, and skeletal remains of both humans and animals. The tombs discovered in this area share similarities with Egypt's ancient sarcophagi, yet they differ in their simplicity. Unlike the elaborate designs and mythological symbols present in Egyptian sarcophagi, the limestone coffins found in this Philippine burial site bear a more understated appearance. Experts observed that the tombs once featured lids adorned with probable pre-colonial patterns. Regrettably, these lids, along with the skeletons and accompanying burial artifacts that should have been inside the tombs, had already been pilfered by treasure hunters before scientists had the opportunity to conduct a comprehensive examination of the site. Undoubtedly, the Philippines is not merely a country of stunning natural beauty. It is a true repository of archaeological marvels that have profoundly contributed to the enlightenment of the intricate fabric of our human origins.
When you think of the world's technological powerhouses, the Philippines wouldn't even cross your mind. However, this Southeast Asian nation has produced some inventions so groundbreaking that perhaps they're intentionally not being broadcast worldwide. This is due to the impact that it would have on established powers. From a water-powered car to a limitless energy generator, these kinds of inventions are being kept in the dark so as not to destroy the status quo. Hence, this is the goal of our video: to let the world know of the technologies that perhaps have been dismissed intentionally as fraud. These have the power to change the way we do things forever. For years, rising tensions among major oil producers have driven fuel prices higher. Electric cars are an alternative, but they're still expensive. However, what if a car could run on something far more common and accessible than oil or electricity? Something as ordinary as water. This was the groundbreaking dream of a Filipino inventor, Daniel Dingle. It was in 1969 that his vision first took root, as he set out to build what he named a hydrogen reactor. After years of persistence and trial, he reached a milestone. He was able to power a 1996 Toyota Corolla with it. Although the precise working of his device had been a secret, he provided some hints. He claimed he could split hydrogen from ordinary water in the car's tank, producing clean energy with zero carbon emissions.
See, the hydrogen, see, it produces hydrogen ready. You see the bubble, then you see, the big bubble is the hydrogen, the small bubble is the oxygen.
The invention quickly drew the attention of investors. Among them was John Ding Young of the Formosa Plastics Group, who believed Dingle's creation was real. Together, they signed a preliminary agreement, aiming to secure international patents and bring the technology to the world. But the story soon darkened. By 2008, the controversy reached its breaking point. Dingle was convicted of defrauding Young and his company, after failing to deliver experimental cars he had promised. He was sentenced to up to 20 years in prison. In his defense, Dingle claimed that multinational oil companies and their allies in the automotive world conspired to destroy the reputation of his breakthrough. He demonstrated his invention multiple times, even driving his water-fueled car through the streets of Manila. Witnesses watched in awe as the engine purred without a drop of gasoline. Despite public demonstrations, mainstream science still branded him as a fraud. His concerns carried weight. Global governments depend on the massive tax revenues brought in by oil, and any alternative threatens that structure. Just imagine a different reality. You'll be driving your car, you'll just fill a jug of water, then pour it into your car and drive off. Such a change would be cleaner, safer, and far more economical. This has the power to disrupt the very foundation of today's energy system. Whether this was the case or not, he wasn't able to finish his work. In 2010, this Filipino visionary passed away. Together with it was his noble vision to change the world.
Ano ba ito? Itong invention na ito? Wala kayong naitutulong ito. Itutulong ko ito sa inyo. Hindi nyo ako dapat tulungan. Ang hinihingi ko lang, tignan nyo kung totoo o hindi totoo.
Have you ever heard of a Filipino engineer who claims to have built a one-of-a-kind generator? It draws power straight from the frequencies around us. Most likely, you haven't. A discovery this bold should have dominated headlines, yet not a single major news article has covered it. Why? Perhaps because a device promising limitless power is the very thing the world's most powerful interests would rather keep in the dark. Elias de los Santos has claimed that he built a machine unlike anything science has ever acknowledged. It's named as an Electroplasma generator. According to Elias, his invention requires no fuel, no batteries, and no conventional source of power. Instead, it draws energy straight from the air, capturing ambient radio waves and electromagnetic frequencies that constantly surround us, but remain untapped. The way he describes it, the device harvests this scattered energy, amplifies it through a custom-built Tesla coil, and then stabilizes the output into usable electricity, 220 volts at 60 hertz. This is the same standard that runs homes and industries. If his claims prove true, the implications are nothing short of staggering. Its usage is endless. Basically, anything that needs electricity or fuel could be replaced. Whether it can withstand scientific scrutiny, or whether it will even be given the chance, remains uncertain. In many rural areas of the Philippines where electricity is out of reach, households rely on kerosene lamps for light. They may appear to be a cheap option, but the danger is severe. Each lamp emits black carbon, and breathing its fumes for just 1 hour is the same as smoking 40 cigarettes a day. This was the problem that engineer Isa Mihenyo set out to solve, and her answer came from something so ordinary, yet everywhere around them: salt and water. Together with her brother Rafael, she turned this everyday resource into innovation, creating salt or sustainable alternative lighting. Salt works through metal air technology, pulling in ambient air as its cathode, paired with a metal plate and activated by a simple saline solution, a glass of water mixed with 2 tablespoons of salt. Seawater can also be used as an alternative. By triggering a chemical reaction, the lamp delivers about 90 lumens, or 2 watts of brightness, providing up to 8 hours of light each day for half a year. It can also supply enough power to recharge small gadgets like mobile phones. What seemed like a humble creation quickly rose to global recognition. Barack Obama and Jack Ma listened intently as it was presented in the APEC summit held in the country in 2015. The media celebrated her as a pioneer. Awards arrived in waves. Like many bold inventions, the lamp did not escape fierce criticism. Doubts quickly surfaced. Observers pointed out that Mihenyo never fully disclosed its inner workings, omitting one crucial truth: the lamp depended on a battery. The saltwater itself wasn't the true power source. It merely acted as an electrolyte, allowing current to flow, more like a switch than a generator. Then came the issue of production. At the heart of the system was a metal anode that corroded with every use and needed constant replacement, thereby raising the issue of affordability. Yet, even with these flaws, The promise it held for ordinary families was undeniable. The lamp could have freed countless households from dangerous kerosene fumes and costly electricity. Consider this: millions of homes no longer tied to power companies, remote villages glowing without costly infrastructure. For a device this groundbreaking, it's striking that it still hasn't become widespread across the country. Was the lamp abandoned for being impractical, or because it posed too great a disruption? Later reports say Miheno teamed up with a semiconductor company, aiming to roll out 45,000 units. But whether that plan ever became reality remains unanswered. Food waste is one of the world's hidden crises. A 2021 study by the WWF revealed that more than 1 billion tons of food are wasted annually. Imagine throwing away 1 out of every 7 apples, carrots, or cabbages. Farmers bear the heaviest burden. They lose income due to discarded edible crops. However, one Filipino invention hopes to address these challenges. That's the promise of ARAS solar panels by Filipino engineer Carvey Aaron Magee.
Ng paraan upang matulungan ang mga tao na magkaroon ng access sa clean renewable energy dito sa Pilipinas.
The idea is straightforward. Convert food waste into clean, renewable energy. At first glance, ARAS panels look like sheets of colorful glass, but hidden inside is a process inspired by the dancing lights of the aurora borealis. Infused within the panels are luminescent particles, the same compounds that give fruits and vegetables their vivid colors. These particles absorb high-energy ultraviolet rays, then re-emit them as visible light. Along the panel's edges, tiny photovoltaic cells catch this light and transform it into electricity. Unlike traditional solar panels that demand direct sunlight, ARAS thrives where others fail. Installed vertically on walls or windows, it generates power even in shade or cloudy conditions. This is a game changer for dense cities, remote villages, and places where sunlight is limited.
Naisip ko na kahit maulap at maulan, meron pa ding ultraviolet light na tumatagos at na pupunta sa atin. Sayang, hindi natin nakukuha yung enerhiyang ito gamit yung mga conventional na solar panel, and yan yung naisolusyonan ng aking invention.
Beyond it, rejected fruits and vegetables can be given a second life. Farmers can gain an extra source of income, households enjoy cheaper and greener energy, and communities step closer to a sustainable future. Yet such a promise carries consequences. Giant corporations built on coal, oil, and imported solar stand to lose if clean. Affordable energy becomes widely accessible. The question is, will they allow it to prosper? Metro Manila is notorious for its traffic. As a matter of fact, it ranks among the worst in the world. Day after day, thousands of hours are wasted as commuters sit stranded in buses and cars, crawling through endless congestion. One invention hopes to one day bypass these road congestions. This is the electric flying hoverboard by Kix Mendiola, named Concepto Millenia. Long before major companies began investing in personal aerial vehicles, he was in his workshop and building prototypes. When his invention was ready, he revealed it to the world by breaking a record, the farthest distance ever covered on a hoverboard. Over Subic Bay, he flew his electric hoverboard for 2,894 meters. The flight lasted 7 minutes and 22 seconds. When he partnered with Star 8 Green, an Australian-based international company, his creation took on a new form, the Gravity X Concepto Millenia. This one-person, open-cockpit electric multicopter prototype can take off and land vertically, powered by 16 propellers, each driven by its own motor and computer. Even if 5 propellers fail, the craft can still land safely. With a maximum payload of 90 kilograms, it stands as proof of how far his vision has come. As the world races to unveil the first commercially viable flying machines, a Filipino inventor stands among the pioneers. Which of these innovations do you love the most? We think that you'll love this next video. As always, until the next one.